Imagine being told you're not good enough, only to become one of the most celebrated musicians in the world. This is the story of Kenny G, a tale of passion, perseverance, and the power of believing in oneself. Early life, the spark of a dream born. Kenneth Bruce Gorelick. On June 5, 1956, in Seattle, Washington, Kenny G grew up in a modest household that valued education and hard work. His love affair with the saxophone began at the tender age of 10, sparked by a moment that would stay with him for life: watching a saxophonist perform on The Ed Sullivan Show. Captivated by the instrument's smooth and soulful sound, he convinced his mother to rent him a saxophone so he could learn to play. However, his musical journey wasn't without early obstacles. In high school, when he first auditioned for the jazz band, he faced rejection. It was a moment that could have discouraged many, but not Kenny. Instead of giving,
I got the permission from the Stan Getz estate. I talked with family members. The idea, my whole motivation was take all the people that know and introduce them.
Up, he channeled his disappointment into practice, relentlessly honing his technique, mastering the saxophone day by day. When he returned to audition the following year, his hard work paid off. He not only made the band but secured the coveted first chair, proving that persistence could turn failure into triumph. This experience left a lasting impression, teaching Kenny an early lesson in resilience that would shape the rest of his life. Balancing books and beats. While Kenny pursued his education, his passion for music never waned. Enrolling at the University of Washington, he chose to major in accounting, a field far removed from the smooth melodies he loved. But even as he studied numbers and ledgers, he found time to nurture his artistic side. He began playing with local bands, starting with the Seattle-based funk group Cold
Sounds this morning. You must be very proud.
Well, I can hear it in the background. Yeah, I'm very proud. It took a long time to make this album, you know. I spent about 4 years trying to come up with new...
Old and Together. Their energetic performances and experimental sound helped him refine his stage presence and improvisational abilities. Later, he joined the Jeff Lorber Fusion, a jazz-funk ensemble known for its dynamic arrangements and rhythmic complexity. This collaboration was pivotal. Touring with the group exposed Kenny to new audiences and broadened his musical palette. These experiences weren't just about gigs or paychecks. They were about learning, absorbing, and evolving. Each performance brought him closer to the confident, polished artist the world would come to know. Despite the demands of school and his budding music career, Kenny managed to excel in both. But deep down, he knew his heart belonged to the saxophone. Accounting would always be there, but music was his destiny. Chakaduli, Breaking Through. The Rise to Stardom. In 1982, Kenny G finally took a leap of faith and launched his solo career with the release of his self-titled debut album. Though it received moderate attention, it was enough to signal the arrival of a promising new artist. Over the next few years, he continued to release music, slowly building a dedicated fan base. Then, in 1986, everything changed. His fourth studio album, Duotones, became a commercial breakthrough. The standout single, Songbird, captivated listeners with its hauntingly beautiful melody and emotional depth. Reaching number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, a rare feat for an instrumental track, the song turned Kenny into a household name. Smooth jazz had found its new ambassador. His signature sound, gentle yet expressive, emotional yet restrained, resonated deeply with audiences. At a time when the music world was dominated by pop and rock, Kenny offered something different: a moment of peace, a breath of calm. His music became the soundtrack for weddings, late-night drives, quiet dinners, and introspective evenings. Through his saxophone, Kenny G gave people more than music. He gave them feeling. Facing the critics. As his fame grew, so did the scrutiny. While fans adored his music, jazz purists were less enthused. They criticized his style as overly commercial and lacking the complexity of traditional jazz. Some even dismissed his work as background music rather than true artistry. But Kenny G never let the criticism faze him. "I don't think there's an artist who wouldn't want more sales," he once said. "And if it's commercial, maybe it's because a lot of people like it." His focus wasn't on critics or gatekeepers, it was on the millions of listeners who found joy in his music. He understood that music wasn't just about tech.
Record till I could come up with this new sound that I wanted to come up with, so I'm very proud.
What kind of in for you?
Well, normally it's Maggie's Magic Muffins.
Technical brilliance, it was about connection. And connect he did, with people of all ages, backgrounds, and cultures. In the face of skepticism, Kenny G remained grounded, letting his success and his saxophone do the talking. Sakuryu. Record-breaking feats. Kenny G's dedication to his craft wasn't just reflected in album sales or concert tours. It was evident in the records he shattered along the way. In 1997, he stunned the world by setting a Guinness World Record for holding a single note. Using a technique called circular breathing, he sustained an E-flat for an astonishing 45 minutes and 47 seconds. It was more than a stunt. It was a display of discipline, focus, and mastery. That wasn't his only claim to fame. His 1992 album, Breathless, became one of the best-selling instrumental albums in history, with over 12 million copies sold in the US alone. It featured the beloved track Forever in Love, which earned him a Grammy Award for Best Instrumental Composition in 1994. These accolades solidified his place among the music greats, showing that even an artist outside the mainstream could reach the pinnacle of success. Beyond the music, a man of many talents. Though music is his first love, Kenny G's talents stretch far beyond the stage. He's an avid golfer, once earning the title of the music industry's #1 golfer by Golf Digest. He regularly competes in prestigious tournaments like the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am, playing alongside seasoned professionals. For him, golf isn't just
About performing. My best friend Walter is one of the owners, so for him I'll do anything. But we've been playing together 20 years. Yeah, this
hobby. It's a meditation, another way to challenge and center himself. Adding another layer to his multifaceted life, Kenny is also a certified pilot. He frequently takes to the skies in his beloved de Havilland Beaver seaplane, enjoying the freedom and serenity of flight. Whether he's navigating notes on a saxophone or flying thousands of feet above ground, Kenny brings the same level of precision, passion, and curiosity. Personal life and legacy. Kenny G's personal life, like his career, has seen its share of highs and
I think in 1991, he created a sound that was so unique that he was called the Sound because his tenor saxophone, a warmth and a
lows. He married Lindy Benson in 1992, and together they had 2 sons. After 2 decades of marriage, the couple divorced in 2012. While the separation marked a difficult chapter, Kenny remained deeply committed to his role as a father. He emphasized the importance of strong communication, mutual respect, and thoughtful decision-making in raising his children. As an artist, Kenny G's impact is undeniable. With over 75 million records sold globally, he stands among the best-selling musicians of all time. He didn't just popularize a genre, he became its face. His influence can be seen in a generation of saxophonists who grew up inspired by his sound, and in listeners who found comfort and beauty in his music.
I'm playing tonight. They better do a petty. I'm going to hold a note for as long as they do the petty.
The man behind the sax. Behind the spotlight and accolades is a man driven by an unwavering love for music. Kenny G continues to practice daily, believing that there's always room for growth. He remains curious, open-minded, and dedicated to evolving his sound. Even after decades in the industry, he still strives for excellence. In recent years, Kenny has embraced new projects that push creative boundaries. From collaborating with artists in hip-hop and pop to composing scores and releasing a memoir titled Life in the Key of G. He has shown that reinvention is always possible. The memoir offers fans
a record till I could come up with this new sound that I wanted to come up with, so I'm very proud.
What kind of in for you?
Well, normally it's Maggie's Magic Muffins.
Performing. My best friend Walter is one of the owners, so for him I'll do anything. But we've been playing together 20 years. Yeah, this is
from a boy in Seattle with a rented saxophone to a global icon who changed the face of instrumental music. His life exemplifies what's possible when passion meets perseverance. He proved that rejection can be fuel.
I think in 1991, he created a sound that was so unique that he was called the Sound because his tenor saxophone,
That criticism doesn't define you, and that staying true to yourself is the greatest success of all. Through his music, Kenny G has given the world not just melodies, but hope, one note at a time. If Kenny G's journey moved you, and you appreciate stories that celebrate resilience and self-belief, you'll enjoy exploring more content like this. Please like, share, and subscribe for more music stories.